Welcome back to Roman's Christmas. It has been a week since the last episode, so I apologize if the voices aren't exactly the same, but let's get started. Elegant was at the stairs. She raised her veil and smirked at me. What do you want? If it's not important, I've got a card game waiting for me that I already lost. It is, and it's an important matter. Stepped back to the wall and backed away to the door of her room and opened the door. Is it mysteriously acting necessary? Very necessary. Shut the door behind me. Doing well? Are you still wearing a bell? What? Never mind. In a word... Before you speak a whole sentence. The death happened! Someone has died. Really jumping into it. With a crunching sound. Bang! The second one. Bang! The third one echoed in the tavern with a hoarse roar. Roar! What on earth? Don't worry, I guess it's just Cain losing his temper. He'll calm down soon, then go cry and blame himself all night. Mood! Anyway, you were saying something? I doubt it will be that simple. We should check to make sure. What have you had to say seemed pretty important. Don't let me die of curiosity, please. Well, and avoid. Bang. Deep sound. The sound was different than the last. Jesus Christ, what is happening? It's like something heavy fell slammed into the ground. Something that probably weighed as much as a person. What happened? What happened? I slammed the door open, bouncing off the walls. Elegant followed me out. The sound had come from the opposite side of the hall, Cain's room. Shut the doorknob, but it was locked. I thumped, pushed, and kicked with all my strength. The door wouldn't budge. Sean ran from the double room in a hurry, a handkerchief in one hand. What was Sean's voice? Well, what happened, y'all? I think something happened to Cain in his room, but the door's locked and we can't get it. Locked? Zarn rushed from the stairs when he heard that, trying to push out through the rest of the crowded guests to fetch his keys. We can't wait! I can't stand this! What's going on in there? Sean backed up, bent his head down, and rushed the door with his horn. Nice! My vision went black. The air was still. The sounds of choppy breaths and sobs gradually filled my ears. A scream sliced through the still air and echoed in my ear. Ah! It was the first victim. My vision slowly cleared and soon I could identify the shape of the scene before me. A wooden cup and a copper candlestick were resting on the ground. Okay, let me make some notes. I was with Elegant. Sean was outside the room. Zarn was outside the room. Dull red liquid like vicious wine trickled down the back of the chair and pooled on the ground. The air was thick with a coppery metallic smell. It's blood. A wooden cup and a copper candlestick were resting on the ground. This is a pretty awful Christmas already. This Christmas sucks! I'm actually making notes in a mystery game. Cain was slumped in his chair like he was asleep. He ignored the knife which was thrust into his chest. A pattern of reddish gold bloomed along the lines of the knife handle, and splatter of red speared across his face. Seems like a rich person's knife, if you ask me. Stabbed with a golden knife. Cain's body shuddered involuntarily as the last chase of his life fled his corpse. Nobody moved. It was like the world had slowed to a crawl, like witnessing a terrible accident that he couldn't do anything to stop. I thought by now I'd see enough death and carnage not to be shaken by one more grisly murder scene. Until I found myself staring at Cain's slowly stiffening corpse. The familiar odor of Cain's musk mixed with the metal smell of blood and reek of death caught in my throat. Shit! Really? Really? What a heartless thing to say about that achievement. Someone do something! Zarn tried to burst in the room, but was stopped by Anzox and Sean clinging to his sides. Why in my tavern of all places? Yeah, maybe we should be concerned about the dead guy, Zarn. Who did this? Which one of you did it? If you confess now, it'll be a lot easier to solve this case. Zarn roared as he shook Anzox and Sean off. Man, and I liked Cain's voice. It was very relaxing on my throat. Zarn roared as he shook Anzox and Sean off. Roar! His lips pulled back to show fangs and his shoulders hunched. His wings began to spread ankily, struggling to free themselves from the straps he held them with. The friendly innkeeper persona dropped away, and his place was an enraged dragon out of some bard's tale, furious that someone had dared defile its lair. He leveled his glare at me. Get a hold of yourself. I'm Crushly Cain's dead, and I don't know who did it. Then find out! There must be an achievement for refuse, but I will find the murderer. I'll do everything I can. Thank you, it's very important to me. Zarn slowly recovered his composure, his fangs hidden back under his lips and his posture relaxed. I expect all guests will cooperate with Roman's investigation in order to resolve this as soon as possible. Tossing the ring of keys, turned around and slowly walked downstairs, his footsteps heavy on the stairs. I remember there was another set of keys in the attic. I should look later. Oh, another set of keys, you say? In the attic, you say? Notes are being taken, you say? The reason I'm being so meticulous about these notes is apparently there are future murder mysteries that can happen in this game where you can just point the finger at yourself and lose the game. Be like, someone in this room is a murderer, and that person is me. And I'll feel, excuse me. And like, I don't wanna get that bad end, dog. I played enough Corpse Party to know what wrong ends are all about. I remember there was another set of keys in the attic. Yeah, okay. Well then, time to get to work. If you wish, detective, I can help by checking the corpse. If you don't want to face him so soon, that is. Go get him, Thrivey. I'd appreciate it. I'll admit I'm usually only treat living patients, but given the situation we now face, looks like you're going to be doing your first autopsy. I'll work while you investigate elsewhere. Return after you finish. Well, Thrivey can't make him any more dead. When he turned back and tightened his medical love score, we're going to work. Beginning search. There's my little guy. There's my little mans. What do you have on your face? Are you free now? What's the matter? Just some routine questions. You just need to answer honestly. Where were you when the incident occurred, and what were you doing? Reading my book downstairs at the bar. Who else was downstairs at the same time? Zarn, Heron, Giannis, Peter, Vincel, and Anzox. Okay. According to Thrivey. It's a plague doctor mask. Investigation process. Examine every other location fully to whenever you're ready to the upstairs. I'm going to stiff motor frontal close. Okay. I have to treat everyone with suspicion. Keep in mind that I'm operating off the assumption that basically the murder is as it looks like. Because one, this is the first murder, and two, we heard the confrontation happen when Kane was killed. So there's no way that it was like the Danganronpa, or not the Danganronpas. Yes, the Danganronpas. Where like, oh, he was actually poisoned several hours ahead of time, died then, and then someone came in and stabbed his corpse. Okay, I can come back to you. He's got a little cute little plague doctor mask. That's adorable. Let's search this room. My autopsy isn't quite done yet, detective. I'll check someplace else. Don't mix the attic. I'll let everyone give you testimony, asking anyone still necessary. Okay, so let's start at the attic and work our way downstairs. What are you doing here? If you'll excuse me, I have to search. Who are you and what are you hiding? Aha, a book. That's Thrivey's book. The cover has the image of a dragon and some symbols that I can't quite figure out. A doctor reading? Seems suspicious. Thrivey's medical supply box. So heavy even Zarn had difficulty lugging around. That's Thrivey's bed! It's one of the beds that Zarn usually sleeps in, but he's loaned it to on Thrivey to sleep for now. Anzox's bed, he sleeps there every time he comes here. Is that the keys? Yes, it is. These must be the keys which Zarn hangs by the bedside. If there's an empty room available, the free keys will hang on there. The door was locked. Were there any problems with the key? I counted them one by one. The shapes are basically the same. Seems like they were made in the same workshop. I'll ask Zarn about it later. Okay. Keys. Full. I'm going to assume this is I guess, set of keys upstairs. There's no way that we wouldn't have noticed somebody running upstairs to replace the keys. That's still Zarn's bed, yeah. It's snowing like a motherfucker! Light streams in through the attic through the round skylight. The accumulated snow could slide down the roof, but instead it is heaped on the window. It heckin' snowy! A candle. Wait, whose third bed is this? This is Zorn's bed. He usually uses two, but one of them... Oh, okay, because he's a very wide lad. Lad always dragging around the rope and hold. Oh, okay. So I don't have to... I don't run the risk of, like, accidentally clicking on something and leaving the area. Alright. Let's hear what you have to say, doofus. Your whereabout. I just want to ask what you were doing when Kane's incident happened. Me? I was watching them play cards. Right. Who is the culprit? Anzox is lost in thought. Unless something scripted happens, you only... Okay, so if someone jumps out and stabs me in the fucking face. I was thinking if someone used the spare key. No way! Why are you so sure? The keys are all in the key holder. Oh, according to Anzox, he was downstairs. And no one could have used the key. Correctly used the key. Making him a suspect. The keys are all in the key holder, and they look exactly the same. I would imagine only Zahn can determine the difference between them. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I thought he said no one but myself and Zarn could do it. Even if the murderer had all the time in the world, he wouldn't know which key to take. Ask Zahn if you don't believe me. Alright. Well, your story jives with what Thrivey said, but I'm suspicious nonetheless. Let's see what Lunik and Solar have to say for themselves. I was informed that Solar's name may actually be Sunny, or something of that nature. Because they're like lunar and solar, but I prefer lunar, so that's what we're going with. Play the game for yourself if you want your own headcanon. I'm not going to ask him anything first, I'm just going to bust open the door and push him out of the way and start rummaging through all their shit. Sure is a lot of stuff you got in here, don't mind if I touch all of it. A candle. A bell. A mug of ale. Who drinks ale? This cup's named white wine, which carried a hint of fragrance. Smells like lavender. A mug of lavender wine, huh? Only killers drink wine. I've read Dracula. Dracula didn't actually drink wine. This is a double bed. It's the only double bed in tavern. Of course, guests couldn't choose this room usually. What's in here? Your underwear? As soon as I moved towards the bedside table, Lunik interrupted me. What is Lunik's voice? Fancy lad. Anything I can do to help you with, Monsieur Romain? Oh yeah, I forgot. He's the guy who doesn't actually speak Fake. Monsieur! The tone suggested the opposite. May I check the drawer? None! I think the items inside have nothing to do with this case. He showed me a gentle smile. Lunik not letting me into drawer. Seems suspicious. And as a Marquis, I have the right to refuse any kind of search which I think is excessive. Starting to think Peter had the right idea about unfairness. Alright, fine, you jerks. Start yakking. I just want to ask you what you were doing when Kane's incident happened. Forgive me for following protocol. Solar and I were in this room, together. John was in my room when the incident... when the incident happened. I rang the bell to call him in. The bell's on the table, I'll check it later. This is enough to eliminate us as suspects? Okay, according... Lunik, were in bed at the time of killing. That puts them upstairs, making them my prime suspects. Thank you very much. I think we're done here, so I won't disturb you any further. You're welcome, Detective. Please visit me if you need any help. Get out of my way. Let me see that bell. This bell does not appear to have been recently rung. This is a handbell. Must be used for calling Sean. I've seen the Marquis ring the bell in his house. Sound was loud, but Sean always seemed to hear it. Having a butler must be nice. I mean, that kind of does jive with what Sean said, or where Sean was at the time, because if he had just walked out of their room... Let's talk to Heron. What was Heron's voice? Yes, that was Heron's voice. Get the fuck out of my way. I'm touching all your shit. Bedsheet is tidy. Seems like Heron hasn't slept so far. A candle. The bedsheet is tidy. What? That's a window, dude. Where were you at the time of the murder? I just want to ask what you were doing when Kane's incident happened. I was watching the others play Nope, that's the same voice. I was watching the others play cards. Everyone can testify to this. Uh-huh. Playing cards downstairs, huh? Is that what Zorn Thrivey said? Yes, okay, fine. I see. Don't leave town. Let's see what Peter has to say. Peter is not here. The perfect time for me to rummage through all of his stuff. There's nothing in Peter's drawers. After all, he didn't plan on staying around here, so he didn't bring any luggage. The bed is tidy. A candle. Why are all these candles examinable? Is that going to be a Chekhov's gun? Is it going to be like that one Discworld novel? Hey, Sean. Get the fuck out of my way. This is Lunik and Solar's suitcase. Looks expensive and well made. Can't look inside it though, unless I get their permission. There's a mark on the chest. Maybe it's travel, maybe not. Sean was likely to make the bed again in his own way. A candle. Neither the worst nor the best. Why is this candle special, huh? Is it suspicious? Is the snow heavy or am I just seeing things?
What are you fucking talking about?
Rub those beans on things. Alright, fella. And exactly where were you at the time of the killing? I just want to ask what you were doing when Kane's incident happened. I got a lot of things to ask this guy about. And your story better jive with what I heard already, buddy. I was upstairs in my master and mistress's room. Okay. Lunik and Solar. I keep doing Lunar and Solik. You know, the Lunik Exalteds. They rang the bell to call me upstairs, so I was going to enter their room and ask for instructions. I heard a loud sound before I entered, but my duty to the Marquis is more important than satisfying my curiosity, so I just ignored the sound. After completing my tasks, I went to go see what happened. I think the Marquis and Marquise are willing to prove my innocence. Well, thanks for your testimony, at least. Why do you have so much luggage? That they belong to my master and mistress. I keep them here so that their room is less crowded. A likely moving things around, huh? I'm a little bit curious why you chose to crash the door like that. I'm a goat, dumbass! I'm used to button something when faced with a barrier. And after all, what happened just now, maybe he still could have been saved. Just after coming from the room and seeing what was going on, I decided to make the most direct route. Let's talk to Ionis. Who is Ionis? Never mind, Ionis is not here. Why is this window open? Summer has been completely buried in snow. It's not my first question. My first question was about the window. There's nothing in the drawers. Why would there be nothing? Ionis slept here for a while. The quilt must have fell on the floor. Ionis was asleep when this happened? Well, Ionis would tell me Ionis was asleep. Alright, spill the beans about what you were trying to say! That's when you asked what you were doing when Kane's incident happened. I was standing in fucking front of you! I see. According to Elegant, if she's to be believed, Captain fucking Assassin Spy Master Agent 47 over here, going around assassinating people. Why'd you put your veil back on? May I have a look in your drawers? No. Elegant hesitated, then slowly moved away from the night table. I saw the drawer opened. A gun! No! A notebook! I looked at it, she responded with a shrug. I'm not about to obstruct your investigation, detective. I opened the notebook. 13 familiar names are written on the paper. All of them. What? Kane? What? Hang on. Whoa. What? Kane, Ionis, and Zorn, and Antox? Aha, her bumping off list. Her dude icing list. Her fool murdering list. Kane, Ionis, Zarn, and Anzox. Crossed out. And exactly what the fuck is going on with this? A candle! The sheet on the edge of the bed is untidy. And is this your attaché case? Your dead drop with all of your weaponry? This is Elegant's luggage, well made but unremarkable. What's with the list? What were you talking about earlier? Spill the beans! Care to explain about the list? No comment. I realize it would make you suspicious, but firstly, I was standing in front of you when the incident happened. Secondly, do I seem foolish enough to write down a hit list and not bother to hide it? Fair enough. The beans remain unspilled. I'll talk to you last. May I have a look inside the drawer? Of course, my good fellow. Vincel pulled open the empty drawer. Well, thanks for your cooperation. Now about that drawer's false bottom. A candle, neither the worst nor the best. What is this? What is this? What is that? What is this? Oh, it's the mark of... Yeah, it's the mark of the inn. This is Vincel's big suitcase. Seems like it had been open since owner of the tavern. I don't know how I would know that. Alright, let's get this over with. No offense, that's why I asked what you were doing when Kane's incident happened. Okay. According to Vincel. Quite alright, my good fellow. It's your job. I was playing cards downstairs with the others and didn't notice anything until Kane was found. Thanks for your cooperation. Playing cards downstairs. Dreadful business, that is, but I can't help but expect that someone like you would have things well in paw, Detective. Good to see someone's confident. He didn't sound as strangled in your previous game. Well, he didn't sound as Kermity in my previous streams either. Let's question this Roman hag. Where was I at the time of the murder? Actually, I should be searching the place in case someone has planted evidence to frame me for this crime. I'm really tired. I shouldn't feel so tired after witnessing what I just saw. Here's my backpack. My clothing and sundries are inside. There's the evidence of my last case in a notebook I kept notes in. Is it the stone arrowhead? What the fuck? 20 December, 1285. Today is the third day I investigate a series of consecutive murders in 3rd Street Avenue apartment, Sunnyvale District. The case is now closed. I will return to RIMF tomorrow. The record is as follows. The victims were found in their own apartments. In 2 cases, the door to the deceased home was locked. The door wasn't locked in the 3rd. Each victim was found near a balcony or window to the outside. That's where Kane was found. Each died from blood loss caused by a single piercing wound in the chamber asthma, which penetrated deep into the door. That's how Kane died! After an outside investigation, we confirmed the perpetrator. He lived in the apartments across the street, used a bow and tethered collapsible arrow to randomly shoot all 3 victims. Usually the victims' relatives, the evidence shall return to the capital. Do you give them all stands too? Okay, nobody move. Let me see these cards everyone's been talking about. Another candle. This place is awash with candles. The candles are the ones that did it. A rotting flame. One of the reasons why dragons are good for running pubs is it's always easy for them to keep fires going. Oh, really? They can breathe fire in this universe? Is that Thrivey? This weird candle fetish. Let's talk to Peter. Peter is Salazar. Right. Pete, let's talk for a minute.
Mr. Kennedy, I don't know. Kane.
I know everyone is sad right now, but we need to find the killer.
Not me! I didn't kill him!
It was mentioned early on that the end has lots of pictures of fluffy white dragons, not specifically of Thryvi though. Fluffy white dragons in a doctor's uniform? Calm down, I just wanted to ask you a few questions. Okay, according to Pete, he didn't do it. Oh shit, this investigation. Time flies by when someone gets murdered. So that is it for this episode of Roman's Christmas. I'm hot on the trail of this killer. Obviously all of my guesses were wrong. That should be expected, because I did not have any information whatsoever. But I'm starting to think with my mind, the most deadly weapon I have against this perpetrator. So stay tuned for the next episode to find out what happens next as we finish, interrogating everybody and see what the body looks like. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please remember to follow me on Twitch and subscribe to me on YouTube. Hit that bell for more videos like this every single weekday. You can find more information about this game in the description below this video. You can also find me on social media at the Siege Andrew on Twitter and Mastodon, on Facebook.com/S15Studios, and on s-15studios.itch.io, where you can find all of the tabletop games that I've written, including Crumbs from the Master's Table and Cyborgs and Cigarettes, for free. So please play them. Let me know what you think. Lastly, you can find everything else that I make, including articles that I write and short stories that I've written, including the recently released Lord of Vermin, on my personal website at s-15studios.squarespace.com. Once more, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time.